How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to Key West Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. Got some inclement weather that moved in this week. It has not been ideal, but that caused me to have some time off. And it's not often me and Madeline get days off together. This is my lovely girlfriend, if you have not met her yet. It's been raining all morning, wind's blowing pretty good, but like I said, we don't get a lot of days off, so we are gonna go on the boat and we're gonna look for some snacks. We'll see what we can find. We'll see you down there. Let's rock and roll. So it's a little breezier than we had planned on, but I'd rather be out here than be on land any day, so. Water's a little dirty, and to kind of throw a wrench into this, I had a fun idea, and I actually got this from something that happened a few years ago. I went diving with some friends and we ran about 25 miles and I forgot my fins, so I ended up diving the entire day about 25, 30 feet without fins. It was quite a challenge. I ended up actually shooting some fish, so that's what I'm gonna try and do today. I'm gonna ditch the fins, leave them up there, and I'm actually gonna go also throw another little fun twist in there. I'm gonna use a pole spear, which might be ideal for dirty water because the fish won't spook as much and I can get a little bit closer to them. So this may fail miserably, but if it doesn't, it may be entertaining. Let's rock. All right, here goes nothing. Welcome back underwater, boys and girls. I'm gonna just share a couple thoughts on this just to give you a realistic timeline. I know YouTube kind of makes things seem like they just fly by, but this whole process was about 2.5 hours. I'm gonna save you the pain of watching me crawl around on the bottom forever looking at nothing. There wasn't a ton of fish here. On this dive, I'm kind of coming down, searching. The best way to do this without fins, I was just kind of crawling across the bottom. You know, using my hands, and I'm kind of crawling a little bit and a little bit of grunt in there trying to bring anything in, and I look down in this crack and I see a pectoral fin of what I know is a grouper, and you can kind of tell he's got some decent size on him there. Just kind of a happy accident. He happened to be sitting right in that crack. Ooh. There's a nice grouper in that hole. It'll wear you out. I'm gonna try and get a good breath and take a stab at him, so I'm gonna breathe up for a couple minutes, or a minute at least. So the hardest part about this whole process was, without fins, it was really hard to balance yourself. Your fins are kind of your steering. Not only are they your propulsion, they are your steering, and they kind of can stabilize you when you're trying to line up on a shot. And I realized that with it being so rough, the water was kind of moving me and shaking me around a lot, so it made this very difficult. So that fish is in this crack right here. If you look close, you can kind of see the black blob there, and a little dust cloud means he took off. You see the pole spear shake just a smidge there, so I think I barely nicked him. But unfortunately, I did kind of take a rushed, crappy shot there. In my defense, I had no fins on. Crap. I missed him. I think I nicked him in the belly. Woo! So I'm going back down, just trying to locate him. I was kind of trying to use the weight and momentum of the pole spear to get me down there, because once I got down there, I could move around pretty good along the bottom, just crawling. But I wasn't sure if he shifted over, if he actually left the hole. I never saw him actually leave. This is the other end of the crack, so I'm just trying to see if he's shifted a little bit. I waited a few minutes to let that clear up because he made quite the cloud. Unfortunately, he did take off. And on this end, I barely see a puffer fish. For a split second, I thought that was him, but it was actually a puffer fish. Dang it. He left. He went to a different hole. Son of a bee sting. I'm pretty sure I found him. He moved over like 15 feet. Whew. So again, to keep the timeline realistic here, I'm about 2 hours in, swimming around trying to find this thing. He actually moved over, not very far. It was only about 15, 20 feet maybe from the original hole. Dives were really hard with this, especially having a pole spear in one hand loaded, a flashlight in your other. Like I said, this was a lot more difficult than I thought, but I definitely want to give it another try. It was pretty fun. I enjoy a good challenge. You can see how shaky my pole spear is. It just, because you don't have your fins, you can't steer, you can't balance yourself. I was a little buoyant because I didn't want to be overweighted. He's up in this crack, and I'm trying to just get a shot right in the side of his face. Shove the pole spear in there to make sure, but I think I missed him again. I can't balance myself without fins. This is really hard. So the camera doesn't actually pick it up, but this is a cool little trick. You can kind of see it right now. If you're diving in murky water and you're trying to mark a spot, put your flashlight on the bottom and face it up. You can see a lot better than you would normally in that murky water. Little moray coming out. And I wasn't sure if I hit this fish, and slowly just kind of pulling, and wham, he takes off. I had barely hit him, and I'm going to slow this clip down. If you watch really closely, it looks like the tip was in his mouth. Not sure, but unfortunately it did not stick, did not get that fish. It was really frustrating, but again, I think I'm going to save this for a later day. This was really fun. It was a really fun challenge. Dang it! I hit him and it tore out again. I suck at this. I need a spear gun. No boogers. Well, quite frankly, I pissed that. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, I'll be honest with you. Maybe it's because, one, I had a pole spear, and two, it's pretty rough, but that wore me out. I had two kind of difficult shots on that grouper. I didn't mortally wound him, but it stinks leaving a nice fish like that, but he'll definitely live. I nicked his belly the first time, and the second time I hit him right in the mouth. He just had real awkward shots on him, but sometimes you fail, and I failed, so maybe next time. It's pretty murky and obviously pretty windy, so I think we're just gonna run into the shallows and try and maybe catch a lobster or two for dinner. So let's see what we can find. Should be right here on our side. Graceful. It should be right here. This looks like sand right here underneath me. So we're a little shallower. We're gonna try and catch some bugs for dinner, since I was a miserable failure trying to spearfish without fins and a pole spear. But where's Madeline's over here? There's some coral heads with some lobsters in them, and I've always wanted to stick a camera in that coral head and then catch the lobsters, and I don't know if it's gonna look cool or how it'll turn out, but that's what we're gonna try. So again, I've always wanted to try this, and quite honestly, I'm pretty thrilled with how it turned out. I've watched this video like 50 times, and I crack up every single time. Just trying to get the camera in there settled. I had it on a little miniature tripod. Quite a few bugs in there. Had to come up in between breaths, but I use a noose. A lot of people like the net and tickle stick. I'm a big fan of the noose. It's just one thing in my hand, and I can get into these deeper holes. I don't know why, this just reminds me of like a scary movie or something. It's a little terrifying, just ripping them out of there like that. Some really nice ones around. There wasn't a ton of lobsters, but the ones we did find were, for the most part, pretty big. Oh, it's just too funny to me. I'm not going to bore you with this for too long, just did a couple of them. The noose is a lot more efficient in these deeper coral heads and caves, in my opinion. Ledge is like a tickle stick in a net. We found a couple of stragglers on the outside of the rocks, some small ledges and stuff. Madeline is actually an incredible lobster huntress, especially for being from Texas. This is a lobster I pulled off of the first spot where the grouper was. This thing was just giant. You can tell by the legs on him. Looked like he had been messed with before. He was real jittery. A little reluctant to cooperate, but that is all I got underwater. If you guys want to see an incredible fried lobster taco recipe, stay tuned. I do appreciate it. See you next time. Big one. So we have got enough bugs for dinner. I don't know how well that video is going to turn out inside the rock, but hopefully it looks kind of cool. You pooped. Yeah, we're gonna hit it. What do you want for dinner, babe? Maybe some fried lobster tacos.
Yeah. Ooh, lobster roll.
Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm kind of set on tacos. We'll figure it out. We're gonna head back, hit the food store, and we'll see you in the kitchen. So we ended up with some nice ones today. I'm not a big fan of putting them on ice. Me personally, if I'm ever found in the same situation, I know that I'd rather have my head chopped off than freeze to death. So there is a way to dispatch them. Will showed me you put a knife through here somewhere and turn it, but I can never get it done properly. So this is how I take them off. Try to make it quick. Take the antenna. Ooh. And there we are.
It's gonna be fine. Oh, here we go.
It's lobster taco night. All right, so today didn't go as planned. I really wanted to try and spear something primitively, no fins. So maybe I'll save that challenge for another day. But we've got lobsters. It's a nice consolation prize. Madeline's making a sauce for us. I'm gonna give you a rundown of kind of everything we need here. We got lettuce, cilantro, lemon or lime, whichever you prefer, sour cream, chipotle peppers and adobo. Madeline got the knockoff brand, not sure where she got that. A few lobster tails. I'm gonna take these, split them in half, and just kind of chunk them up. I've got corn tortillas, a little bit of corn oil, and some panko and seasoned breadcrumb. So we're gonna get started. Madeline's making the sauce. This is gonna be pretty simple. It's gonna be fried lobster, lettuce, a little bit of cilantro, and then this kind of, we'll call it a chipotle mayo. I'm working on holding the camera out here. I've noticed in some of my videos I get real low, but she's making kind of a, I guess it's not chipotle mayo, it's chipotle sour cream. Mm-hmm. You can do it with mayo if you like mayo. We don't like mayo, but we're getting started. We'll kind of show you the rundown here. Let's rock and roll. All right, so kind of at the end here, losing track of where I'm supposed to be filming, but doing just little chunks, little lobster bites into egg wash, seasoned breadcrumb and panko mixed. This is both. I'm not doing two layers of it, so it's kind of how I'm doing it. Corn oil comes out golden brown. Madeline's heating up tortillas here, kind of.
This one broke.
I'm not sure what the hell that's supposed to be.
They're all good in here.
Oh, good ones are in there, but we're getting there.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Nailed it. All right, show us how it's done. You gonna put any toppings on it? Jeez.
I just want a little extra.
Good Lord, woman.
Lobster.
gonna be no leftovers.
Little
Alan's gonna show us how this is done. Apparently it's just a lobster taco.
Oh, actually. No.
So we've got lobster, lettuce, and these are real simple. Like I said, we're not going crazy on these. The main thing is the lobster, unbelievable, and the sauce. Shout out to our friend Alyssa. She showed us this. It's sour cream, cilantro. She used lime juice, lemon or lime. We only have lemons right now, but what was the other thing?
Chipotle.
Peppers. So I've tried this a couple times. If you like spicy, add the peppers. If you just like a little hint of chipotle flavor, just use the sauce. Each pepper you add kind of adds a little bit of heat. So there we are. That's what we got. That's it. Thanks so much for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Leave some comments. Love talking to you guys. It's literally my favorite thing to do. Send me some more ideas, and we'll see you next time. Later.